Bryson Neal found his way back to the center of the box in round number 10. But pressure mounts as the national championship hangs in the balance. Can Bryson Neal capture the number 1 plate, or will Walker Fowler remain supreme? GNCC on MAV TV starts now.
Are you ready to go? GNCC Racing!
Hello and welcome to round number 12 of the 2022 Grand National Cross Country Racing Series presented by Specialized, an AMA National Championship. We're here in Newburgh, West Virginia for the Amsoil Buckwheat 100. I'm Mikey Waynes. I'll be taking you through today's racing action. We begin, as always, with the Specialized race recap. Round number 11 was action-packed, began with the number 2. Look at that. Grabbing the whole shot right there. That is Hunter Hart with that early lead, followed by Bryson Neal. Great start in round number 11 for Adam McGill. Of course, Walker Fowler right there in the fight. Fowler coming into this race off of a win, trying to get it done. But as the race wore on, it was Bryson Neal finding himself out front, leading the way. Hunter Hart and moved into the 2 spot. After grabbing that hole shot early, and then was followed there by Walker Fowler, who eventually was able to make his way around Adam McGill into the 3rd place position and eventually up into 2nd on the day. But again, as the race kept going, great shot of Walker Fowler there, carrying some speed through the woods. But again, nonetheless, it was the Bidwell Bullet, the Magna 1 Motorsports Yamaha of Bryson Neal going to work, getting it done and bringing out the checkered flag for a win, his first win in the last few rounds. And boy, did he feel good about this one. Maybe not a needed win, but maybe it was. Certainly important as far as the championship chase is concerned. All celebrations for the Bidwell Bullet. Love to see it. Walker Fowler again came in, finished 2nd on the day. Handshakes all around. Love to see the good sportsmanship. And, of course, Hunter Hart wrapping up the top 3.
Yeah, today was the line in the sand. I couldn't give him 3 in a row. I was bleeding points. You know, I know it more than anyone, the points gap that I had, and I just let it all go to waste. And the last 2 races, they fought me, and man, these last 2 weeks I was quiet, and I really worked my butt off. I knew that this is the line of sand. I couldn't let him come in here, beat me at my home track in front of my home family, my friends, my Wexicans, and that start today, Toby Reed, Pat Kidwell, man, we worked all summer getting it, trying to get this bike starting, trying to get me better. We made such improvements, and I was kicking myself because I wasn't able to show that Beckley. Was able to show today my best start I've had all year. My goodness, I almost didn't know what to do because I was like, I haven't been here, and I almost wasn't racing forward. So I got to shake them cobwebs next round if I get out front again like that. So that was really great today. We got off the start. Shout out Toby Reed, Motor Experts, Pat Kidwell, BDO. I'm just so pumped. The CST tires, Elka shocks by Impact Solutions, EWT wheels, everything was clicking today. I know Walker chiseled at the gap on the last lap, but I got to race this bike 2 more times, and I was just trying to get through it real smooth and just get around real nice and easy, and we was able to bring this thing home.
Well, taking a look at the results from last round, of course, Neal taking that win, Fowler 2nd, and Hunter Hart rounding out the top 3. Good ride for the Coltrane, as well as Adam McGill rounding out the top 5. We fast forward to today in the 241 Magna 1 Motorsports Yamaha with those reverse plates, letting us know he is the points leader with just 2 rounds of racing left. All eyes turn to row number 1, the XC1 Pro class. Jockeying for position, battling for that All Balls Racing Hole Shot Award. Oh, good ride out front. Walker Fowler leading the way. Will it turn into a hole shot? Yeah, a little checkup from the neck up as he sees the Coltrane on his 6, but Walker Fowler will carry the lead into the woods. I believe that was McClure in the 3 spot. Let's take a look at it in the woods now. In and out, should say. Fowler. Oh, yeah, that was McClure in the 3 position. So good fight here. Cole Richardson in the 2 spot. Where is Neal? Neal was back in about the 7th place position. So Neal's got his work cut out for him early as he is buried in the middle of the pack. Back down to the starting line for the XC2 Pro Am class. Battling for that B&R Motorsports Whole Shot Award. And good fight out front between the 50 of Shane McMillan and the 908 of Stephen Harrell. Oh, Stephen Harrell goes up and gets it. Making a grown man move right there for the whole shot and early lead into the woods. Stephen Harrell, man, he's been on the radar all season. He's come away with several podiums, but that win this year has eluded him. Of course, Jay Shadron has had a dominating season, capturing the title. But the only other rider not named Jay Shadron with a win, I believe, is Brandon Owens. So is today the day Stephen Harrell could go up and get himself a win. Back out front with the leaders, and it's Walker Fowler coursing his way through the woods. Tight section right here. Fowler needs a win. He's back in the battle. Coltrane, Jared McClure rounding out the top 3. John Glotta, and there is Bryson Neal. So Neal up to the 5 spot from the 7th place start. Got his work cut out for him, though, on his heels. That was Hunter Hart. So those guys got a lot of work to do early in this one, but already Bryson Neal making some moves right there. McGill, Feehan going to have their work cut out for him as they're toward the back of the pack in this XC1 class. Well, Walker Fowler, he needs a win. He's got the whole shot. He's got the early lead. Can he hang on for the checkers? We'll return right after this.
Coverage of the Grand National Cross Country Championship on MAV TV is brought to you in part by Specialized E-Turbo Bikes. It's you, only faster. And by RockyMountainATVMC.com. Get ready.
Welcome back to the AMSOIL Buckwheat 100. Walker Fowler was leading when we left off. He's still leading now. The Coltrane, Cole Richardson in the 2 spot, and Jared McClure rounding out the top 3. Glotta in 4th, and Bryson Neal rounding out the top 5. That was Hunter Hart in the 6th place position. So where we left off, again, good ride going right now for Austin Abney as well, the 703 machine. But Walker Fowler out in front. This is really what he needs to do. Between him and Bryson Neal, battling for this national title, doing all the right things. Neal, small gap in front of him. You can see that reverse plate on that Magna 1 Motorsports Yamaha. But nonetheless, good group of riders right here. The 703 of Austin Abney toward the back of that lead pack, but certainly in the fight. Now taking a look. Oh, there's Jay Shadron. Can't miss him. Runs the headlights. And for that, we thank you. So Jay Shad trying his hand out here, I believe, in the XC1 Pro class after having wrapped up the title in the XC2. So we'll see how Jay Shad fares against the rest of the XC1 Pro class here today. But good racing early on here at the Buckwheat 100. Walker Fowler and about, your top 6, top 7 riders all in the fight in this one. Bryson Neal. If you're Bryson Neal or if you're Walker Fowler, the goal is simple. One, you want to win. If you can't win, you got to make sure you finish in front of the other guy. Now, as these races sort themselves out, if history tells us anything as we reflect back on this season, that pretty much means one of these two is winning it. So it's going to be tough. I think it's no secret, depending on what happens here today, but we should be coming down to Ironman to sort this championship out between Walker Fowler and Bryson Neal. Things have just been close, and we had a moment, Walker Fowler on screen, your leader. We had a moment there where Walker Fowler finished outside of the top 10. And we had talked all season long about the first guy to finish off the box is going to be the guy who ends up second on the season. So we thought that would come into play. Next thing you know, a few rounds later, Bryson Neal has a DNF. Walker Fowler comes out, grabs a win, and just like that, he's back in the championship hunt. Walker comes out the next round, follows that win up with another win, and things begin to get very interesting. Now, we'll see how that plays out here today. Bryson Neal coming off the win at in Ohio at the Burr Oak. But 2 rounds left, Buckwheat 100. Bryson Neal on the charge, middle of the pack of that XC1. Walker Fowler out in front. Cannot shake these guys. In years past, we would see, as Bryson Neal on the move now, believe that was him up into the 3 spot. John Glotta in the mix right there toward the back of that lead pack. But Walker Fowler, here we go, leader on screen. Riding past our Parts Unlimited banners. Cole Richardson in the 2 spot, and that is correct. Bryson Neal in the 3 position. So Neal wasting no time. He knows he cannot allow Walker Fowler to run away and hide. They've got to keep Walker Fowler in their sights. And how about this? This is what everybody came to see. Fowler out front, Neal in the 2 spot. So the 2 battling for a national championship now lead the way in 1 and 2. Hunter Hart and company working their hardest to not let Walker Fowler and Bryson Neal out of their sights. Look at this, different line choice there for Neal. Not going to pay off. Walker Fowler stays out front. Fowler with some good defensive riding. Got to hand it to Bryson Neal. You can't make the pass if you're playing follow the leader. You got to work the track. Maybe not the best line, but he is looking for opportunity. Oh, tight maneuver right there by Neal. Unable to make it happen right there again as Fowler remains out front. But again, to Bryson Neal's credit, he's not sitting around and waiting for opportunity. He's looking for opportunity, and here comes Fowler. Fowler now with a gap. And Neal falls off. So had to have had a mistake there by Bryson Neal. Falls back a couple of positions. John Glotta now on his heels. And here comes Fowler out in front, leading the way of this 4-way battle. Neal at the back of the pack of that 4-way battle. John Glotta not too far off of their pace as they dip back into the woods. Here at the Buckwheat 100, Fowler on screen. Got a little rehydration right there. Got the water bottle. Keep himself hydrated during the race. Hunter Hart in that 2 spot. Good ride by Hunter. Neal in 3rd. We are moving right along into the open section. We're going to pop into the VP Racing Fuels Pro row. Saw Walker Fowler roll by there. See if anybody, yep, we're all stopping. We're all taking fuel. Neal gets fuel. Coltrane gets fuel. There's a shot at Bryson Neal. Got the fuel cap back on, and back to work we go. So business as usual for your XC1 Pro guys in the Pro pits. If you're new to GNCC, hey, they're going to dip into the Pro pits, get some fuel from the IMS Quick Fill, maybe a fresh set of goggles, a little rehydration, and then it's back to work. Years ago, back before tire balls, tire spine, things like that, occasionally you'd see somebody come in with a flat, have to change a tire. The industry's changed, right? I mean, that's almost old news at this point. Rarely see these guys having tire issues out there. So not really something typical of a GNCC over the last several years, but once in a while, you have to do a little extra maintenance. Neal, Fowler, Hart, Coltrane, everybody wants a piece. If you're Fowler or Neal, the goal's obvious, right? You need to finish in front of the other guy. You need a good points race. You need to set yourself up for success into the last round at Ironman. If you are Coltrane, Cole Richardson, if you are Hunter Hart, you want to play spoiler, right? Season has gone well, but maybe, and here we go, 1 and 2 now. Again, it's Fowler and Neal as Neal finds himself in the 2 spot. But maybe you don't find yourself. If you're Hunter Hart, if you're Cole Richardson, there's no doubt in my mind, every time they line up, the goal is to win the race. That's not happened for them this year. They want to play spoiler. Can they do it? Walker Fowler leads away. Bryson Neal in second. That's what everybody came to see. We'll be right back. More GNCC after this.
Coverage of the Grand National Cross Country Championship on MAV TV is brought to you in part by Specialized E-Turbo Bikes. It's you, only faster. And by RockyMountainATVMC.com. Get ready.
Well, here we go. More GNCC on MAV TV. A little hiccup right there from Walker Fowler, but he's back on the machine and moving. And Bryson Neal gets hung up in the same spot. Can't quite make out what's going on back there. I don't know if it's just got cross-rutted, came off the machine or what, but man, how about this battle? Watching it from the Yamaha Racing Skycam. This is for a championship. Call it what it is. This is for a national title, letting it all hang out on the track. And here comes Neal to the inside. Can he make it stick? No. Around the outside, ducks back to the inside. Side by side, a little tap to say, hey, how you doing? And Walker Fowler taps him back and says, I'm doing all right. So Fowler comes out on the losing end of that one. Rubbins Racing, championship on the line. And Bryson Neal saw a window of opportunity, went for it, makes the pass stick. Hey, good riding by both guys, both Walker Fowler and Bryson Neal. They're riding like champions. Call it what it is. Aggressive, absolutely. Bryson Neal knows what's at stake against Walker Fowler. Walker Fowler knows what's at stake against Bryson Neal. And here we go into the finish now. Bryson Neal's got to stay perfect. No mistakes right here. And no mistakes will happen as Bryson Neal comes in for the checkered flag from Ricky Towery, and Walker Fowler will have to settle for a second-place finish. It doesn't seal the deal on the championship, but it puts Bryson Neal in the driver's seat as we head to Indiana in a few weeks for the Ironman GNCC. And Walker Fowler certainly not out of it. But look at this pass. Specialized instant replay. Bang! Around the outside, Fowler gets him sideways. I gotta be honest, I thought Fowler was gonna come out on the winning end of that one, but Neal stays the course and brings home the win for the Magna One Motorsports team. He's gotta be happy.
Going from back to fifth place right before the pit, we was ripping good. This bike, the CST tires, Hauser A-arms, that Moto Experts engine, tuned by Pat Kidwell, everything was just on rails. I felt so dang good today. I love this track. I love the flow. I was feeling myself. I could tell I was riding really, really good. I was riding an edge that I don't think anyone else was wanting to ride. But went for Walker. I went for a little pass on the inside, and I got sideways, and I got shuffled back. And then went to pass Cole, and a line that I tried to take the lap before that I actually made a pass on Glauda, a log got kicked, and it caught my A-arm, and it flipped me. And right before the pit, I went back to fifth place, and I was like, oh my gosh. I just saw my whole race, my championship. If I could make it back to the pack, it was real tight racing. There was I made the passes. I made them work. I made them stick, but my goodness, it was really hard to pass today. And this last lap was insane. To pass Hunter, to pass Walker out there in the field, it was a hell of a battle. There ain't nothing like GNCC racing like that today. This is a true Blue Woods race. Hopefully this is an awesome race for the fans. I hope everyone enjoyed it. And we're looking forward to Ironman and keep this thing rolling.
Well, as we saw on screen moments ago, Walker Fowler coming in for the second place position. Shaking his head a little bit, stretching the wrist out, their arms out. He's still in it. It still comes down to Ironman. He's going to have to get a win, and Neal's going to have to finish a little further back in second place, but he's still in this. He's just not in the driver's seat anymore.
Honestly, had I not had a good start, I don't even know if I'd have been a podium guy today. I definitely was playing roadblock at the beginning. I rode tight all day. I could never shake it. I had a decent lap or two, or a decent lap there after we pitted, but man, it just got tight again. I don't know what I was fighting. I didn't adjust the stabilizer before the race, but doesn't matter. This one's on me. At the end there, I was doing what I needed to do to be out front, and didn't look over my shoulder. I was like, it doesn't matter if it's Neil or Hart or Richardson, whoever it is. You got to be ahead of them. You really need this win. And man, second to last corner on the field, basically one of the last spots to be able to pass. It just got a little bit of a weird kick off of a jump, got a little sideways. Bryson had a good line, and we're pretty good at kind of riding like supercross riders when it comes to the field stuff. So, I'll run him into a hay bale. I'm not afraid to do that, and he'll run me into one too. So he started to, and I just turned into him. I'm like, man, if I'm hitting it, we're both going out right here. I'm just whatever it takes. So, got a little rough there for a second, spun him out, but I stalled the bike, and we just rode the wheels off it to the end, but had a little bobble again, just trying a last ditch thing. Kind of didn't work out. So can't blame anybody but myself. I really had to win this one, and with a minute and a half to go, I let it go. So got to go out, win the next one, and the cards will fall where they fall.
Well, congratulations again to Bryson Neal with the win. Walker Fowler finishing in the 2 spot in the Cole train. Consistent all day, the 733, Cole Richardson.
We got off to a good start there, which is I knew is what we kind of needed coming into this race. The woods are kind of actual like a woods race. They're not super fast, a little more technical, I feel like. Good flow, and, the field sections gave a lot of options for passing, and got a little worried there for a while. We fell back to 4th, and I knew there was other guys within sight behind me. Like I said, I was kind of scared to look back. I think I caught a glimpse of Glotta's helmet in the field section on the last lap there and was a little worried because I knew, he's young, has nothing to lose, and he has really good speed, especially in the fields. But, Hunter made a pretty solid move on me early on in the race, and I kind of returned the favor there on the last lap and got him in the field section, and kind of wish we could have been sitting 3rd or 2nd there a little more so through the last lap there and kind of give it a better run. But end of the day, we made up points on Hunter, and hopefully we can make up a little more at Ironman.
Well, as we take a look at the Specialized race recap, the XC1 class battling for that All Balls Racing Whole Shot Award. What a start by Walker Fowler. Fist in the air. He says, I got this, boys. Rock on. Little checkup from the neck up to see the Cole chain, the 733 of Cole Richardson. He was in the fight all day, no doubt about that, up into the 2 spot. Ended up settling for a 3rd place on the day, but I got to think he's pretty happy about that. Bryson Neal, on the other hand, a 7th place start. Started chipping away early, picking up a couple of positions into the 5 spot. Hung out there for a second. Next thing you know, he's in the top 3. And then eventually would make the pass into 1st place, but not before having some incredible battles with Cole Richardson, with Hunter Hart, who is stellar today, and eventually with Walker Fowler. What everybody came to see, right? The battle between Fowler leading the way right here, and Neal working from that 3 position, trying to find his way back up front with Walker Fowler. Fowler had a couple of little mistakes, little bobbles, as did Bryson Neal. Overall, it was equal playing ground for both riders throughout the day. As we got down to the nitty-gritty, I can't get enough of this. Bryson Neal goes for the pass, and hey, you got to hand it to both of them. Walker Fowler tried to stick him in that corner for going for the aggressive pass, and then Walker ended up being the man stuck and left behind, and here they come into the finish line. Not the closest finish we've seen in GNCC history, but close nonetheless. Gets the blood going. Love it. Nothing quite like GNCC racing. That is going to do it for us here at GNCC. I'm Mikey Waynes. We'll see you at the races.